Yo, it was a mission to make this video. Because let me tell you something. I went to 5 different stores just to find these stupid shoes. So hopefully this video turns out pretty good because a lot of effort went into this just in trying to find these stupid shoes. Let's take them out and see how sick they actually are. Alright guys, so I'm super stoked to try on these Vans Skate Classics. Now, I'm particularly excited because in the past, I have talked a lot of trash about Vans shoes, saying that these strays are $20 to $30 cheaper and they provide a better skate shoe. In a lot of ways, these shoes are really similar, and I think Stray is part of the reason why Vans decided to re-release their new Skate Pro models and update them, because their old versions just weren't really competing. I had a ton of issues with all the Vans Skate Pros that I ever skated. For one, the DuraCap was really big and awkward, and on top of that, it wasn't actually that durable, and the whole thing would just collapse and fall apart, which if you're gonna be spending extra for a shoe, you kinda wish that, you know, the shoe is gonna last longer. The other thing that's unique about these shoes is now Vans is putting this little check mark tab on all of their pro shoes to distinguish their regular shoes from their skate specific shoes. That way you know whether or not you're getting a skate shoe that is made for skateboarding or just for fashion. Another thing that they've supposedly changed is these insoles. Well, I guess the whole heel area, they are supposed to have carved out this heel part of the shoe so that your heel can sit lower in the shoe, because that's the whole benefit of Vans in the first place, is having a low profile shoe that gives you really good board feel. And in their Skate Pros, they just basically used the same shoe, added some rubber, and beefed up the insole, which ultimately made the shoe skate worse and just feel really awkward. Even though technically it was probably more durable, it just didn't perform as well. So as somebody that's been really critical of the Vans Pros in the past and really hyped on Stray, which I think is a company that's providing that same amount of value for a way cheaper price, I'm interested to see if now, if the Vans more expensive shoes, their Skate Classic Pros or whatever they want to call them, if they're actually going to perform better than the Stray, or if you're better off just saving the money, keeping it in your wallet, and getting a cheaper shoe like Stray, because for the price, it's really hard to beat. So today I'm really interested to see how these new Vans hold up. We're gonna do 100 kickflips and check in every 20, just like the classic videos you see on YouTube, and see what the wear is on these. I've done this a few times in Stray, so I'll know pretty soon whether or not this DuraCap is actually tougher than the Stray material, or whether you're just paying for the brand. Okay, so one last thing that I should mention before I get started with these 100 kickflips is that this heel cup is also tapered. So what that means is that this heel is a lot more snug than your regular Vans. So it's supposed to fit your foot and hold and hug your heel a lot better than the original Vans. So it makes them a little bit tougher to fit onto your foot, but ultimately it should make them skate better. So now that we've got that covered, let's go ahead and do 100 kickflips. Alright, so first impressions, my feet hurt. These are not the most forgiving shoes at all. They feel really stiff and uncomfortable, but after 20 kickflips, I mean, they're looking pretty good. Really can't complain about that. There's just a tiny bit of wear, so I mean, durability wise they're great, but honestly, my arches in my feet feel so like tired just because there's no support in these shoes whatsoever, which really surprises me because, you know, like they've got this pop cush insole. They're supposed to be, you know, revamped, and somehow the strays feel better than these. But honestly, it just comes down to how they feel when they break in, because if these are gonna feel amazing in the end, I'll gladly suffer for a session or two just to get them broken in. Right now, I'm really struggling. I'm battling a knee issue with my left knee, so I'm basically having to relearn how to pop my tricks so my knee doesn't hurt. That's my excuse today anyways, so sorry, they're not gonna be pretty, but I promise you, we'll figure out a way and we'll make it through these 100 kickflips. Alright, so 40 kickflips deep. Feet are still hurting. Not quite as bad as they were before, but we've got about the same amount of wear. Maybe that little line of wear is maybe increased by like 30%. So not a huge deal. I have a distinct memory of how the strays wore down when I did 100 kickflips in them. And exactly the stray Ventura. So pretty much the replica of this shoe. Things are gonna get really interesting when we get down to 100 kickflips. So let's go ahead and take it to 60 and see what happens. Alright, so we're 60 kickflips deep. Let's see how she's looking. Alright, so it stayed pretty much where it was. It's a little bit bigger, maybe like that line of wear is like maybe 25% bigger. The difference between 40 and 60 was not too bad. One thing I do have to say though, these feel like the flick on the stray Venturas. Maybe they feel a little bit better, but the key thing is that the originals of these, the OG Vans Pros, the flick, in my opinion, was horrible. They've definitely slimmed down this Duracap, which I think makes it feel 1,000 times better. But to me, it just feels like they took a play out of Stray's book to slim down the Duracap. But the real question is whether or not this material is actually more durable than the regular material that they use. If it is, then this would definitely be unique to Vans, something that Stray couldn't copy. And so far, I think that this rubber is holding up a little bit better than the Stray Venturas. So my feet do hurt like crazy though. Definitely feel like I'm breaking in shoes. I get that a little bit with the Stray Venturas, but this is at least twice as bad. However, I do feel like these are the kind of shoes that once you break them in, you're never gonna want to take them off. They just feel so good. Alright guys, so apparently my camera glitched out in the middle of that last clip and it didn't save, but I did 10 more kickflips, so I'm at 80. My knee is dying. I'm so pissed off. You missed it, but I landed primo and just, you can see the shoes are all dirty because I fell all weird and just not my favorite. Anyways, I'm just really pissed off because my knee is just giving me so many problems. The shoe is looking pretty much about the same, not too much difference really. At first I thought these shoes were gonna wear down about like the Stray Venturas did, but I've been impressed that with these shoes, the deeper I get into the Duracap, the tougher that it gets. And that's the same thing with the Stray Venturas. However, this one is resisting a lot sooner than the Strays. The Strays kind of like got carved out and then stuck right there. These ones are not really fully carved out and they're really holding up nicely. So shout out to Vans. They actually made a decent Duracap. Really bummed that these shoes are dirty. I'm gonna have to go home and clean these off. They're such like pretty looking shoes, you know what I mean? Like I'm almost regretting getting this colorway just because now they're all ruined and I don't know. It sucks to have such a pretty shoe and then just destroy it, but it is what it is. Alright, let's see if my knee can freaking take us to 100 and then probably won't skate for a week or something, try and get my knee all healed up. So let's go to 100. Let's get it. Alright, well that was 100 kickflips in the Vans Skate Classics. Honestly, they held up really good, a lot better than me. But yeah, so this is the damage report on the Skate Classics from Vans. I can definitively say they are 100 times better than the original Vans Pros. So if you like those, you'll probably like these even more. And if you like strays, you'll definitely like these as well. I feel like they have the same flick as the strays. They're a little bit stiffer, which I think in the long run is going to make them better. They are, however, like $20 more than the Stray shoes. I think Stray does sell a comparable shoe that has like the little rubber thing. I think they're called the Ventura XRs. However, I don't think those have as good as rubber as these have on the toe cap. I mean, you can see all the damage on these slips is gonna go straight to the toe cap, so it's really important that, you know, they're super sturdy. You don't see any scuffs, you know, where the laces would be, because these are super low profile, so it's obviously super important for them to get the rubber right, and honestly I think they did a really great job. The cushioning feels a lot more natural in these shoes, a lot more similar to what you get in the Stray Venturas. Again, they're a little bit more stiff, which makes them more uncomfortable, but I think that'll just, you know, break in with time after a couple sessions. I think they'll be good, and I think these are gonna be some really, really durable shoes, so I'm excited to keep skating these. Obviously with my knee, it's gonna be kind of difficult, but whatever. I mean, just gotta rehab, keep working on it, keep getting stronger, and eventually one day we're not gonna have these knee problems anymore. But I would rate these out of 10, just first impressions doing 100 kickflips. I would give them a solid like 8.5. I honestly really enjoyed them. They were really uncomfortable to start with, but as I wore them longer, they got a lot better. I can already feel them breaking into my foot. And the durability, I mean, you really can't complain about this. It hasn't even gotten up to, you see the purple stripe with the foxing? It, you know, hasn't really even done much up there. So Vans did a great job listening to the consumer and listening to their team rider, telling them what needed to be tweaked, because this is definitely a much better shoe, in my opinion, than the original Vans Pros. All right, people, that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you wanna see more videos like this one. If you wanna see 100 kickflips in the Stray Venturas, I'll drop the link to that video right here. But yeah, that's gonna be it, people. Thank you for all your support. You guys are the best, and I will catch you in a couple of days. Peace.